To add your bio and information about the program to your Etsy account, the first thing you need to do is go to your cohort website. This particular cohort website is for Tahlequah. Yours may be a different cohort, but all of the websites are built exactly the same. Click up here on the tab that says Makers Folder, and then find your name. Click on your name and look for a Google document. So it'll say, it might just say bio, it may say shop story bio, but you should be able to tell which document it is. Open it by double clicking on it, and then copy your bio, and then copy the information too about the collective. For some of you, it will be the Indigenous Artisans Collective, and for others, it may be the Native Artisans Collective. And it may say something completely different here depending on which program that you're in. But the method is still the same. Copy. Go to your shop manager. Go down to settings and about your shop. Okay. Now, you may realize that when you open this up, that there is a little spot here where you can add something about yourself. I think before I edited this, it actually says bio. And I know it gets confusing because Etsy puts like 3 different places where you can put information about yourself. So you can see here, this is not what you need to do, but if you want to put something here, you're certainly welcome to. What you need to do is come over here and click on story. So this is where Etsy is wanting the information about the program to appear. It is going to ask you for a story headline, and you are welcome to put whatever you want there. I say living my culture. You could put on there, about my journey or whatever you want your story headline to be. And then just copy and paste your bio along with the information about the Indigenous Artisans Collective right here under your shop story. If you want to jazz the front page of your site up a little bit, because that's where this information is going to show up. This shop story, it's going to show up right on the front page when someone visits your shop. Let me see if I can get back in here to mine. It'll show up right down here. So that's where it shows up at. So if you want to jazz it up, do you see how mine has like this banner here with it? I'm moving through them, but it has different scrolling images. Then what you need to do is underneath your shop story, it is going to have an area where you can put some photos. And what I did on mine is I actually put photos of things that I don't sell in my shop, because there's a lot of items that I make that I don't, that are part of my culture, but not that I sell through my store. And so that's what I chose to use. But if you want to use pictures of your products, you're welcome to. If you want to put pictures in of your family or pictures that represent where you live or your native community, that is fine as well. So you can do whatever you want to there. I'll tell you that when you upload some of the photos, for some reason these boxes are kind of like they don't want to. You may upload a photo and realize that it's not fitting correctly. And I had that problem with another maker's shop that I was actually doing this part for her, and I couldn't get the photos to look exactly right, and had to do a lot to make it work. But anyway, you can try it. This part is not the important part. The important part is to make sure that you, under your shop story, that you have your information about your bio or about yourself and about the Indigenous Artisans Collective. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so coming back over to settings, now we want to go over to the policy settings. simply click create policy and just make sure if you're going to accept returns, make sure the switch is on. If you're going to accept exchanges, make sure the switch is on. I'm actually going to turn that off because I don't want to do exchanges. Make sure you select, the time frame in which someone has to contact and return an item to you. And then click Save and Apply. Over here on cancellations, again, it's going to, it's not doing it on mine, but I think it does something similar like it did on the returns and exchanges where you click like create cancellation policy or something. If you're going to accept order cancellations, and I suggest that you do, because sometimes this actually happened to me yesterday. A lady contacted me and said, I accidentally made a purchase in your shop and I didn't mean to. Can I cancel the item? And of course, I'm like, sure, yeah, that's no problem at all. So I canceled the order and she got her refund. So it's probably a good idea to allow people to cancel. So what I did was I came into my shop and I said, like, within an hour. So that means if someone accidentally makes a purchase by accident, they should probably know that within an hour. And honestly, if someone was to contact me like, 2 days later or something before I ship the item out, and they're just like, man, my car broke down, I'm really strapped for cash and I can't afford to buy this item now, can it be canceled? Of course I would do that for them. But for now, I just have it set that a buyer can cancel an order within an hour of making the purchase. So after that, just click publish, and that's it. So that is what is going to complete your policies so that they show up on the front of your store as being in place. There are privacy policies here and fixed policies. That's not something I'm messing with. You can do it if you want to, but I think Mary Beth and I realized that you at least have to do the returns and exchanges and the cancellations in order for it to show up on your shop. So again, here, let me scroll down. There we go. So like when you scroll down to the very bottom of your shop, you should see where it says shop policies, and it will tell when those shop policies were last updated.